Good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here. And, well, I'll turn on the football gods light, but they're right down here, front and center, as a reminder of the greatness that is the Dallas Cowboys. In case you didn't know, this is training day. The Dallas Cowboys, it's done. It's over with. It's finished. It is out of here. Training camp opens today. Although the official opening ceremonies aren't until Saturday, but they're heading on that big old jet airliner straight for Oxnard to start settling in. Are you happy? Are you happy? I'm, oh my God. I could cry. I could cry. We actually have real news to start talking about from here on. We don't have to listen to idiots like
can take numbers and skew them any way we want. We often can take numbers and we'll fit them into the narrative that we want to try and paint. And I probably am guilty of this. Can take numbers and skew them any way we want. We often can take numbers and we'll fit them into the narrative that we want to try and paint.
Yeah. We don't have to deal with that crap anymore. We can deal with real news on the field. And I'm going to say, I believe that you're going to see probably the most passionate Dallas Cowboys training camp that we've seen in a long time. I think we have guys who are here literally that need to right the ship, fix their careers, or get the hell out of the way. There's so many guys. I think I'm going to say, I'm actually going to say Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones, I want to say that I think that the team office did the best job that was possible to get competition, to plug in the holes, and try to make the best roster as possible. Doesn't mean that everything they did is going to work, but you have to understand, you do not have unlimited resources. It's not like back in the day before there was a salary cap, where you just had a boatload of money and you could just say, I'm going to do an all-star team, although Tampa Bay kind of did that last year with Tom Brady. But the Cowboys did a really good job. They made calculated assessments. They assumed that Tyler Badish is good enough to be the center, and we're going to let Joe Looney go to save a little bit of money and things, and feel that Tyler Badish is our guy. They put faith in Tyron Smith and La'el Collins instead of investing a draft pick in a high offensive lineman. They looked at it and said, the bigger need is we're not going to go anywhere with a defense that's 29th. And so I believe that they actually did the best they could. But everything's really going to hinge on a couple of things, and that being, of course, Dak Prescott. I almost find it comical that so many people look and say, Dak Prescott isn't the guy, or that his numbers are inflated and that, he's really not that good. You had Colin Cowherd last night, who literally is just an idiot. He is just a freaking idiot. He went on about, Dak Prescott not being that good of a quarterback and so on. And in fact,
50-plus executives,
listen to this,
coaches, and players voted on top 10 quarterbacks. I'll be damned, Dak is 7. I've never thought of Dak as a top 10 guy. I've always put him in kind of the 12, 13. He's better than Kirk Cousins. Not sure he's as good as Derek Carr, kind of that 12, 13 space. He doesn't have a great arm. It's okay. He's athletic, but he's not like Kyler Murray athletic or, Russell Wilson athletic. But you know what? I got to say it. Bottom line is the reason I have the Cowboys going to the playoffs this year is Dak. It ain't the defense. It's not the head coach. It's not that old offensive line. There's something to be said about being a quarterback is more than arm. It's about intangibles, intelligence, leadership, toughness, guile, and Dak's got that stuff coming out.
I'm trying to, that's a tale of two answers there. First, he basically says that Kirk Cousins is better than him, and Derek Carr, and yada yada yada, and then goes on and says, "But I believe they're going to win because of the quarterback." So does that mean you also believe that the Raiders and the Vikings are going to win as well because you say they're better quarterbacks? I don't know, but regardless, let's just deal in our division because we have, like Lord Brunson was saying that, he thinks that Hurts is a better quarterback. And I hear lots of Hurts is a better quarterback than Dak Prescott. Or we've heard about Danny Dimes. And my new thing with Daniel Jones is, Danny, can a brother spare a dime? Can you spare a dime? Because I just don't see it, what the NFL experts are saying about him. And, of course, there's Fitzmagic. We had, I don't know where Sam I am. He's been a troll that's a Washington fan. He was bragging about, Ryan Fitzpatrick has 228 TDs. And I'm like, dude, that's like over 16, 17 years. It's not that good. It's like 13 a year. He's been with 11 teams and has started with 8 teams. Do you know that that's actually an NFL record? Starting quarterback for 8 teams. Nobody else has done that. That, by definition, is you are the king of journeyman quarterback. Literally, if you look it up in the dictionary, you will see Ryan Fitzpatrick's picture on there. But for the sake of argument, I saw on Twitter last night, they took Dak Prescott's last 16 games and his output. And it was like 5,464 yards, something like that. It's somewhere, don't quote me. It's somewhere around, and there's 54 something, okay? Whether it's 24 or 54 or 64, it's 54 something with 34 TDs. Now, a lot of people say, oh, well, that's garbage yards. That don't mean nothing. Okay, I hear you. Let's just kind of take a look at the rest of the division over the course of their last 16 games. So Dak Prescott, 5,400 some odd yards. We talk about the aerial assault that is Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's a gunslinger. He gets the ball down there. He takes risks. Well, Ryan Fitzpatrick over the last 16 games, which is equivalent to a season, is 3,286 yards with 21 TDs and 15 interceptions. Folks, that's an average NFL season. That's an average NFL quarterback season. There's nothing spectacular about that. Nothing. The worst season that Dak had was 22 touchdown passes. Danny, brother, can I spare a dime? Jones, his last 16 starts. He had 14 this past year, and then we take the last 2 the year before. 3,463 yards, 13 TDs, 13 interceptions. Oh, I got Hurts up here. Didn't have to go through and calculate the last season. All I have to do is look at his career stats. Jalen Hurts, last 5 games, 1,061 yards, 6 TDs, 4 interceptions. That's it. I don't know how you can look at those numbers and say that there's any comparison whatsoever. And I think what I'll do is, since, Colin Cowherd said that Kirk Cousins and Derek Carr are both, he thinks better. I'll take a look at their last 16 games. Actually, let me do that while I'm here. Okay, let's see. Now, Kirk Cousins did have a pretty good season last year. But Derek Carr? It's like, really? So his statistics last year, where he played all 16 games, was 4,103, 27 TDs. Still well short of 5,400 some odd yards. Kirk Cousins? I don't believe Kirk Cousins missed any last year. Now, Kirk Cousins, you could maybe make that argument. He had 4,265 yards, 35 TDs, 13 interceptions. By definition, that was a great season for him. You can't really argue with that. That's basically, Dak basically had 1,200 more yards than Kirk did on that one. So I could maybe give you that one, but Derek Carr, nah. But that's where we are. We are now preparing to go to Oxnard. We're going to see pictures of them in the plane and pictures of them landing and pictures of carrying their bags. And I don't care. I'm just happy to be taking that and being able to talk about it. So I am ready for the festivities to get going. And
ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
And I will see you later. Our folks here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe for the Sports Report.
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is